I wanted to create a video for you because there isn't one out there that shares the exact framework to build a profitable and scalable clothing brand on the internet, at least that I've found. So in this video, I'm gonna show you the exact steps to building a clothing brand, how to implement them, and the tools and processes we use for every single brand that we work with have taken from zero to millions of dollars per month. And yes, I will also share the specifics of marketing to a particular niche that you should definitely be paying attention to. But more on that here in a second. So niche marketing is completely misunderstood. People like to repeat the phrase, the riches are in the niches or niches or however you would like to say it, then never do anything about it. So we started Totally 90s Kid because there was a need in the marketplace for dope shirts that represented a specific time in our lives. To give some quick context, we started this brand in 2020, and if you've watched any of the previous videos, we're talking through this. This is gonna be a completely revamped site, but we built this as a test product to show you guys over here on YouTube as we test out apps and as we test out things. However, we built it, and now we wanna turn this into a 7-figure brand and document it for you. But when you're starting out at anything, you need to be finding, or you need to find a very specific niche or market to go after so that you can resonate with them and cut through all of that noise. So this video is about $1 million marketing plan, and I will show you which software and tools we use to make this happen. But if you mess up this part, the niche of the process, then it doesn't matter what tactics you use to try to build a brand. It's going to be harder to near impossible, especially today in this day and age where everybody is fighting for the same customer. The other day I was talking to a clothing brand owner who was interested in our program and wanted to start a brand, but went down the path of a financial advisor. Maybe you're somebody like this. And how does this affect niche marketing and building $1 million clothing brand? I will tell you, marketing to a niche is not only easier, but is an unlock that most people avoid, okay? So this kid, I think he's from the Philly area, so Philadelphia for those who are outside the US. He started a clothing brand, got some drops that he's been doing, hasn't been posting on social because he didn't have time, but then some guy approached him to become a financial advisor. I reached out to him probably 2-3 months ago. He said he was interested. He was like, I just don't have the time. But then some random guy who is a financial advisor reached out to him and said, you can do so many great things. Gave him some personal development stuff. And if you know the story here, or have heard of these people, at least in the US, it was a Primerica advisor. So he's like, I'm gonna go get my license. So he spends time on his license. He's gonna spend time on reading books, which is great, good personal development. I'm not knocking that. I actually told him that was a great thing. But they made him believe that he's going to sell insurance products and become a millionaire later. So he said,
oh, I really want to grow the clothing brand, but I need financial freedom to grow my clothing brand.
And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. And my point here is that the path to which you want to go, and I texted him this, and I asked him this, I was like, what's the fastest way to get from one point to the next? And he said a straight line. I said, okay, absolutely. So if you're doing financial planning, and you have a family, and you have other things that you're doing, and you have a clothing brand, are you splitting your time, or what's the fastest way to grow your clothing brand? And I truly asked him in there too. I was like, look, I understand if you need money, okay? Because he's working a 9-to-5, and then he's gonna do the financial stuff on the side and the clothing brand on the side. One of them dropped. So many people believe that they're superhuman. I did as well, don't worry. But then you hit reality and then you figure out that you are not. And so you have to be very laser focused. So we ended up steering the path back to where he wanted, which at this point, if he wanted to be a financial advisor for Primerica, more power to him. But if he wanted to truly grow a clothing brand, he needed to focus on the straight and narrow, the very specific path, because most of you guys are either successful clothing brand owners and trying to scale to that next level, and so you need new resources and you need to up level. Niche marketing will do that. Or you're just starting out and you aren't getting any traction because you need to go down into your niche. So even you who are hearing me say this will probably still go try to target everyone with your messaging, guys, girls, men, 18 to 65, like you'll probably still do that. But hear me when I say this, that your marketing business and life will be easier if you pick a niche and you not only like, but you also have and you know a ton about. If you want to own a clothing brand or you want to build a 6, 7, 8-figure clothing brand, go into a niche that you actually like, that you know about, and one that you can go deep in. It's not about going super wide, it's about going deep, especially today. Define who your audience is, which we talked about in length or at length right before this, so I won't go much deeper into that. But these are the next phases of your clothing brand in a $1 million process and path. Design and develop dope content for the brands, right? And for honestly, like here we had some stuff that was Fresh Prince and Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin and Pulp Fiction. They were okay. They were good enough for us to get started here. They weren't really dope. Here's our Totally 90s Kid currently, and here's some designs that we're mocking up right now. So this is the initial designs from feedback. I'm not really a fan of this one or this one. This was a cool idea. Records, not really part of the 90s. Totally 90s Kid, wasn't really a fan. So gave some feedback. Came up with this because I was like, let's do something. I want something oversized. I want something pre-shrunk. What does that look like? And so you can see here, this is kind of like cool design. Probably not necessarily going to sell. If you like it, let us know. Wasn't crazy about it. Malware, didn't really care for that one. It seemed too basic. Didn't take up much of the tea. Hands off the gaming, not so much. Feeling old. It's okay. Again with the LimeWire tee, oversized, cool. This honestly would probably be more like a back of the shirt, and like in the top right or the top, probably top right would be the actual logo. Again, not a huge fan of this. It's probably like a 6 out of 10. One more. I thought it was decent. It's a cool style. However, in 2000s, like 1990s kids, we had some tapes, but I really kind of graduated to CDs at this point. These songs were like early 90s. We weren't necessarily listening to them. Now, it Smells Like Teen Spirit. I mean, come on. Everybody's listening to Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit. This is a better concept. We're just still not there yet. When we get 3 concepts I really like, I'm going to post them on YouTube for you guys, and I will ask for some feedback. But once we have that, we can really start to move forward. And that is part of step 2 of building this out. The next thing you need to do is build out your social profiles and start creating content for your audience. It does not have to be your products. For example, our Facebook page, the content for Totally 90s Kid, is not anything about our products at all yet, and it hasn't been for years. So let me go over to the Facebook page and let me show you this. All right, so our Facebook page has 11,000 likes, 16,000 followers, and we are literally just posting stuff for 90s people. We have 4.7 stars out of 7 with 7 reviews, even though we don't have any products. And we're just posting content for 90s Kids. 5 days a week, we're posting. Does anybody remember Wishbone? 90s Kids, what's up? Scrooge McDuck, you had a whole bunch of stuff going on here. 90s, look at that Blockbuster. So anyway, started posting some reels, posting content. Some of it gets some engagement. We are, and I'll show you the numbers behind this. So followers 16,000, post reach about 100,000 a month right now, post engagement 10,000, 23 new post like, 43 new followers. So not a ton. It's actually one of our lower ones. Most of our content is actually from women. Again, you guys will see very specifically how we can focus on this audience and this brand as we create content and actually take this audience who is already captivated into the 90s and start showing them dope products. So build the audience into a very specific niche market. Next thing we need to know are what are our numbers to break even so that we know if we can scale. Remember, those who can spend the most to acquire the customer will always win. I will continue to repeat that. And what I mean by that is that if you can spend 50 to acquire a customer and somebody else can spend 20, you can acquire them for a higher price. But if you know the lifetime value of your customer, you get the customer. The customer is not split between the two of them at a lower cost. So do not be focused on what you acquire the customer for. Be focused on what you can acquire the customer for the length of the reward of working together or selling them the product. So you need to know whether you're going to find a manufacturer or do print on demand. And if you have a little bit of capital, I would suggest getting product in hand. But print on demand is a great option to validate the product before you actually scale. Now, what is that break even number here for you? So I'm just gonna do it on my calculator here. Maybe we can pull up some numbers. But basically, print on demand, if you go that route, is gonna be about 30% profit margins or 60 to 70% cost of goods. So you would do 1 divided by 0.3, which gives us if we're at 30%, we would need a 3.3 return on ad spend to be break even. Okay, if we have 40%, we could do 1 divided by 0.4. We need a 2.5, meaning for every dollar we spend, we made 2.5 to make print on demand break even on the front end. Doesn't mean if you don't have your numbers, you can't figure it out on the back end. Now, if you go POD or print on demand, go with the trusted ones like Printful or Printify. They are not sponsors of our videos or anything like that. They're larger ones that are more notable, and you're gonna have frustrations. They have things wrong with each one of them, but there is no perfect POD option. The downside of POD or print on demand is your profit margins will drop and it will be hard to scale with ads. But again, you are using this as a stepping stone to prove the model. And if you have an audience already here and you build great organic content, you can supplement. You use email and SMS, which we'll talk about here in a second. You can actually make it work. Now, for the boutiques in the world, this could be something like Trenzy. Maybe you're more familiar with that. Versus going to market, Dallas market. If you come, shout out. come see us, or buying your own products online. Now that you know your manufacturer, you need to determine your profit margins. You can do this by taking the cost of goods, which for a POD is around 60% when you take in everything. So taking 1 and dividing it by 0.4, and then you'll get a 2.25, right? We just did that. This is roughly what you'll need to break even on your ads. So shooting for that number will help you get to as close to that point as possible. Now, what's working well for me organically? If you're not creating content organically, you are hurting your chances of being better at ads. I've mentioned this in a lot of videos. Facebook owns, or Meta owns, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, billions of people, 3 billion plus people. It's a lot of data points for you to not pay attention to. So if you can make organic work, it will do better on your ads. And honestly, again, this is something I have said before, if you've not ran ads before and you have not done anything organically yet either, I would start there first. Start organically, as we did for years. I don't want you to wait that long, but for years we've been posting 5 days a week, every single day on Facebook and Instagram, building an audience, building a community. The biggest mistake new brands make is not setting up email and SMS marketing. This is going to be your 30% of your profit that you will use to get you back into the profit stage. Now, what I mean by this is for the amount of people who go to your site, you're gonna get, if you get 100 people to your site, you're gonna get 1, 2, 3% of them to purchase. You'll get another 5% of people to give you their email address, and then the 5 people give you your email address, you're gonna get 1 or 2 SMS. So you still collect the phone numbers and emails, and you know about 30% of those customers, email and SMS will buy later on. So you can actually recoup and get a lot closer to a better margin or percentage of people who actually purchased the first time. Once you do that, you will start to understand your numbers, and you can figure out how much you can acquire a customer for, how long it's going to take you to become profitable, and more importantly, I would look at this as a 30-day timestamp. Now, this may be a lot of information for you, so let's do some scenario for this as well. So if you get 100 people to your site, you get 3 customers. The number really needs to be closer to 1,000. This is just simplistic sake. So you get 3 people to the site to purchase. You're gonna get about 1 to 2 more people either through email or SMS later. So you get 5 purchases for every 100 people. Your conversion rate ends up being 5. And now you need to work out the math of how much is my print on demand or my cost of goods, and then how much is my shipping, how much is everything, so that I know that in 30 days I'm gonna make X amount. Okay, you can do some simple math. I spent X, I made Y, and then I'm left with Z. If you do those things, you'll figure out where you need to be profitable. That's a whole other situation. I'm gonna talk to you about being profitable and scaling this thing in here in a second. Right now is really just the validation of it. And once you get the customer, keep them. You have a print-on-demand business, but you can do the extra things. It costs some money, right? To get a handwritten note, Printify, Printful, these things will do it. Get your inserts into your packaging. Remember, we are in it for the long haul, not looking to make a quick buck. We're trying to build $1 million brand, and it doesn't happen by you cutting corners. Pick a drop date and promote it like crazy for the 10 to 14 days and let people know when it's actually happening. If you want our checklist, making a collection drop, and how to do this successfully, just comment the word drop down below and I'll send you the checklist for free. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and use it and follow the exact steps that we've used to help launch hundreds of brands. The only thing compounding in your brand or in your business is word of mouth. You will get this. Now, the compounding effect here, this is how it works. If Jill comes to your website and she buys at break even, she will come back and buy. Maybe there's a 30-40% chance she comes back to buy, but she also has a much higher chance, if she has a good experience, to tell Sue, who tells Jill, who tells Jill's husband, who tells his friend at work, who tells Frank, and it completely compounds and expands. It's how the word of mouth gets out, okay? How many times have you seen ads for Jordan shoes, right? You do not see them that often at all, if anything, right? But everybody knows about them, and more people want them, and there's a higher demand for it because people are continuing to tell other people about them, okay? So, whole other marketing strategy here, but my point is that it's super compounding, and so if you do a great job with one customer, it will multiply. It's the only thing in business that will continue to multiply that goes outside of the sphere that honestly you can't even track. All right, so hold up just 1 second. I want to say that if you are a clothing brand owner and want to jump into the specifics of your brand and how to grow profitably, like I said, specifically, you can schedule a free 45-minute strategy session with us. There are limited spots, so go find a time on the calendar that works best for you by checking the link in the description down below. Now, if you got this far into the video, then I know you're serious, so make sure you're writing this next part down. This is very important. Here are a couple of examples of brands that are made it to 7 figures that you can copy as well. So this brand, this brand all made it to $1 million following this process. It's called the e-com accelerator process. Number one is website Shopify conversion. Okay, now I said Shopify. If you are a clothing store, I'm trying to sell online, please do not worry about anything else. Just go to Shopify. There's a link in the description down below. It's like for $1 if you're just getting started, and you can use that to launch your Shopify site. Number two, you need traffic. We suggest for clothing brands to be on Facebook and Instagram, organic and paid. TikTok, if you would like, who knows? The House just passed a bill. We don't know if it's going to be banned. I'm sure it'll be fine, but TikTok organic as well. So you need traffic. The third area is profit, email and SMS. We suggest the following. Klaviyo, great option. Email and SMS could be. OmniSend, good option for email, okay option for SMS. Postscript, amazing option for SMS, okay for email. Inattentive, customer service used to be crap, a little bit better now, great for SMS, okay for email. So use those, go check out those options if you'd like. Again, there's no affiliate from us to them. I just want you to have good options. The fourth pillar, so important. This is the repeat customer experience. This is done through live selling. Huge proponents of comments sold. There's a link in the description down below. We are partners with them. Absolutely suggest them. You can go look at other options as well, but they truly are the best. Your customer service, use something like Jerfy. I'm going to put a link in the description down below for them as well. We're working on something really cool with them. At the time of this recording, has not completely gone through. So check it out in the link down below. Put the PO, the purchase order, folded up on the bottom of the close. No one wants to see the invoice or how much they made. Put that at the very bottom. It should be the last thing. I want something surprising. The fifth one is organic and branding. Get your color scheme to match, build a brand identity, a logo, etc. You can use Fiverr if you need to. I'm not opposed to it. Just find somebody to help you build out a true brand identity. It's way more than most people do. Even if you spend 50 or 100 bucks on it, doesn't matter, build it. I would also, for the branding site, set up an ambassador funnel to get people to buy your products and create content for you. So what you do, create an ambassador funnel, give them like 20% off, make sure that they're gonna buy your product, so they buy your product at a great discount. They will then get affiliate work for everything that they post, so you give them a percentage of the profits that you make. They're gonna give you content that you can use as UGC. So they buy at a discount, so high acquisition, they tell their friends, another acquisition, and you get free content that you can run in ads. Win-win-win-win situation. So make sure you do an ambassador funnel. UGC could be anybody else. Influencer could be anybody else. I just focused on making sure that the other person who created great content or the person who has an influence is actually influential in your area. And then affiliates, again, I call that more of an ambassador funnel than anything else. I'd rather be an ambassador than an affiliate. Just sounds better. Now that you have the e-com accelerator process, it's time to simplify things to only do what is actually necessary. We talked a little bit about this earlier with niching down into that market. And I'm gonna show you some stuff throughout Totally 90s Kid. Like I said, we got the Facebook page, the website, everything here. We're gonna show you guys real numbers behind it. And I'll give you a quick update of how is the actual store doing right now, right after I give you these 5 areas to be focusing on. So one audience, one niche market, one offer, which does not have to be a discount, could be free shipping after a certain amount, could be a free small gift, could be a golden ticket, doesn't matter. One message, what is that clear message? Bombas, go look at theirs. Nike, go look at theirs. Go find a clear message and make sure that resonates with your audience. What is your purpose? What's your why? Go check out Simon Sinek's TED Talk about why. That'll help you with your messaging. One platform, which one are you going to create content on and then distribute? Could be Instagram, probably a great place for a clothing brand. TikTok could be a great place for a clothing brand. Okay, start on those platforms and then distribute. And then you must do it for 1 year. I know you guys want to make $1 million in 30 days. Promise you that's going to be very unlikely, but in 12 months could be very possible. So make sure that you figure out the big picture here. I'm going to show you Totally 90s Kid real quickly, just so you guys have some idea. This is all organic, no ads currently running right now. That will be updating here shortly. So last 30 days, 268 sessions, no sales. I don't even think you can actually buy from this. Let's see here. We had 35 people add to cart, surprising. 27 people reached checkout, 0 converted because they can't actually buy. But it'd be funny, we probably could make some actual purchases. A lot of people come from Facebook, some from Instagram, some from YouTube. So cool, got that going. Got some people from United States, Canada, India, UK. Okay, now you have the marketing plan for $1 million clothing brand. It's time for you to drive that traffic I talked about. Okay, if you do not have traffic, nothing else will work. Go watch this video on exactly what to do and how to build Facebook ads for your clothing brand right here next. All right, y'all, have a great rest of your day. I will see you next time. And P.S., please make sure you subscribe.